everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to another start to finish layout, my favorite thing to do. And of course today we're going to talk about some outdoor pages and the topic of outdoor papers and supplies and camping and things like that, because one of my lovely subscribers, Mary, she said help, help. She's having trouble using the same type of papers for the same topic, and sometimes we get into that slump and we do get into that rut. So I'm going to talk about that, and then also too I'm going to list some camping and outdoor collections if you're interested in that. I do stay on top of what's coming out in the industry only because I get asked about that a lot. So and I like to know, I'm a nosy person. I like to see what's coming out, so I will link that below. And then we're going to talk about purchasing outdoor and camping and that type of thing. So if you want to hang on for that discussion, we're going to talk about that. And so, of course, then also, too, my beautiful subscribers, Nancy, Joe, and Debbie, said, yes, they wanted to see some outdoor, maybe some camping, some trail camera pictures. So I've had these printed for some time, and they've been floating around on my space. And I thought that's what I would do today. I would pull out these 3 photos of some white-tailed deer that my dad caught on one of his trail cameras. And I'm going to do a layout, just a one page, and I probably will be cutting some of these down, or maybe only using 2, it depends. And I'm going to use a Scrapbook Generations free sketch. So we're going to talk about camping and outdoor and papers and that topic, and then I will have listed below this Scrapbook Generations free sketch. This is from 2014, still beautiful today, 5 years later. Okay. And of course, it's an Allison Davis sketch. What's not to like? Absolutely. Okay, so my 3 photos today. And what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to scrapbook this. This is no heavy story. This is just simply capturing the outdoor, okay? And I probably will talk a little bit into detail about my dad and his love of the outdoors, so I'll probably do that. As far as coming up with a catchy title, I was thinking about The Buck Stops Here. Yeah, get it? The Buck Stops Here. But it may just something be about my dad, okay, and about outdoor. So let's talk about that, outdoor, and how to scrapbook these, and especially if you scrapbook a lot of these, okay? Now, this is a supply that I make sure I have in my space because this is a topic that I do scrapbook every so often, and they're hard to come by, so when I see them, in the past, I would buy them, okay? And so I'm going to talk about that. So, again, the link will be below for this sketch. And I'll come back with a finished page. You can see that it's not going to be that complicated. It's not going to be very hard, but we're going to definitely talk about this topic. Okay, so the collection I'm going to play with today is Bo Bunny, Take a Hike. This was from 2016. So my sketch is from 2014. My papers are from 2016. And then my photos are for 2017. So, again, with that being said, when I see outdoor, and it's something that fits my family and my lifestyle as far as, you know, my dad, my brothers, things like that, I always pick it up, okay? Maybe not the whole collection, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So, I will see if I can find this. This is just a beautiful collection, and you can see, of course, it came with a cardstock sticker, and this is how I have some of my collections that I haven't played with or I want to keep together. I have my manufacturer, well, what I do have is a piece of copy paper, okay, in between my collections. The manufacturer's info, which this absolutely is heavyweight. You could use this as a piece of cardstock or use this here on your page as well, okay? Love when manufacturers used to do that. Sometimes they've gotten a little chintzy about that. And, of course, my 12x12 sticker sheet. Haven't used a single one, okay? And then, of course, the papers, okay? Now, these are papers, and this is what we're going to talk about. We're not going to specifically talk about this Bo Bunny Take a Hike collection, but I will see if I can find this, and I will put the link below, because this would do you for so many outdoor, not just camping, not just, you know, nature, as far as just, you know, critters. It can be for anything outdoor, okay? Even if you went fishing, you could find some papers on this to use, okay? Now, Mary had a specific question, and I want to make sure I read it right here. I wrote it down. She said that she cannot visualize using dots or stripes or floral on camping, and that was her question, was camping pages. And I will tell you, you could use all 3 of those on camping, okay? And we'll talk about that. So in this Bo Bunny, of course, anything to do with hiking and outdoor and adventure, you can use for camping, okay? Even if it says gone fishing or, that says happy camper, but waterfalls and mountains and trailblazer, even though it doesn't say camping, it says hiking path ahead or gone fishing, go on camping adventure, you don't have to, it doesn't have to say camping to use it on a camping layout. And it doesn't have to say, even though this says Happy Camper, I would use it on those ones for outdoor. So what I'm saying is there's a cross there. You can use it for both. Of course, this dark orange, okay, is going to be good for outdoor, okay, because don't go for matchy-matchy, okay, and there's my 3 photos. So if I was the old school way I used to scrap, this is what I would do, okay? I see brown and green and some orange. So I would pick brown, green, and orange. So of course, if you get outdoor collections, that's going to be included, but you don't have to stick with that, okay? But that's the easiest thing to do, okay? So your darker earth tone colors, because of earth, your earth tone colors are going to be good for camping. You do not have to buy a camping themed collection to use it on camping. So this is what I wanted to show Mary. So you can use this orange and anything to do with wood grain. Okay, now let me talk about wood grain for just a minute. I have a slight obsession with wood grain and floral. And I can tell you, you could use both of those on camping, okay? And you say, well, how can you use wood grain? Well, you're outside, you're outdoors. Where do you find the wood? Outdoors. So anything you find in wood grain, you can use for camping and outdoor. Just go with your darker wood grains, okay? So your lighter ones, like your white and your ivory and your light wood, you could do those for beach, okay? But when you're talking outdoor as far as hiking and camping and fishing, go to your darker wood grains because that's what you're going to see, okay? But for the beach, your wood grain would be your lighter wood grain. So that's how you get around that. So wood grain is for everything. Yes, I love my wood grain. So of course, you know, this has actual, the rings of a tree, okay? And then of course, more critters. So any of this would be good, okay? I think some of those are just the backside. So there's the stripes. So this is what I wanted to show Mary. So this is stripes, but look at the color of your stripe. And I think maybe that would help you, is that when you're looking at your dots, okay, when you're looking at your florals and when you're looking at your stripes, make sure they are of your darker colors. Go with your orange and your dark green and your dark brown, and believe me, it's just a motif, it's just a design, geometric design. It will be perfect. Just go for the colors because the color will give you the mood and feel, okay? And so stripes will definitely work, okay? And then on the back is a plaid. Of course, plaid works for anything too, because now it's popular with the farmhouse look. But again, look at the color. It's that orange, okay? So there's stripes and there's plaid. And of course, this is more themed. There's the critters. This is more themed. Of course, this is clearly a themed outdoor and adventure camping. So this is going to be fun. But then with this, okay, now Mary, this would help you get out of that slump that you're always using the same colors. So when you're finding these type of papers, look at what other colors they have. Right here is this, basically, this is like a sky blue, almost getting into turquoise almost. So you could add in that, and then there's that yellow. So it doesn't always have to be the green and the brown. No, it doesn't, okay? You can get in with your blue and you can get in with your yellow. Now, why is that? Because when you're outside, the sky is blue, the sun is yellow. That's why blue and yellow work so good for outside. It's not green and brown. The green is the trees, the brown's the dirt, but then there you got the sky and the water, and then orange is just a good color because of the sunset. You see a lot of orange and yellows in the sunset. And of course, you know, you have your brown and the green. So it's not just brown and green. So think about that. And on the back, then of course, is some brown. And so this is a diamond. No, I'm sorry. If you looked at it one way, it would be diamond, but these are your dots, okay? Now, this is actually a collection that's designated for camping, outdoors, fishing, adventure, and look what they have, Mary. They have the stripes. They have the dots, okay? And I'm sure I'll find a floral in here somewhere. So this was by Bo Bunny. This was designed for camping and outdoors, and they have the stripes and they have the dots. So believe me, it all works. Just go with your darker colors, okay? There's the green and there's your floral, okay? Now, it's not dainty floral, it's the leaves and the stems, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And then, of course, there's topography in those same colors, okay? So when you're thinking of outdoor, yes, we have the dirt and we have the trees, but we also have the sky, we have the sun, and then all those critters that are among all of that. You can fit all of that in, okay? So, and then again, there is more paw prints. That is such a good way, okay? And then of course there's more scene. We got the critters and there's the trees, things like that. And then we have like a basket weave, because that type of look is always good for camping, fishing, hiking, that type of thing. Okay, even a picnic. Okay, again, more of the motif, just on a bigger scale. Okay, and again, there's that green. Okay, but there's the leaves, so that would be in your floral category. And again, there's your stripes. Okay, and you can't go wrong with geometrics when you're talking about outdoors too, okay, because of signs. There's that blue for the sky, there's that yellow for the sun, okay, and there is your dots. Yes, just look at the color of the dots, they're darker, okay. So I wanted to cover that. So even though this is a bow bunny, take a hike, and this is exactly what this is. This is outdoor camping, fishing, hiking, all that type of thing. Everything that you thought you couldn't use is absolutely in that collection, so you can use all of it. Now, when it comes with your florals, you want to go with, don't go with turquoise and pink. Go with your darker, your oranges and your dark reds. Dark reds is good. And then your dark greens for your leaves and things like that. Your dark yellows, your mustard yellows are perfect for outdoor, because that's what's in here. So again, Mary, I hope that helped, that when you're getting into that slump, and you can't find the collections, look what you already own. And if you scrapbook by color or you organize by color, it's helpful. Just go to your darker colors, okay? And then just don't think it's brown and green. There's a lot more you can add to that. But again, I will have some collections listed below that you can absolutely get a mood and feel of what is in just not camping, okay? And so that's the other thing I wanted to say, is when you're looking at getting, especially if camping is something that you scrapbook a lot, and I think that's what Mary was saying, that's she has so much of that, don't just look for camping themed product. You're going to go into the outdoor, okay? So you're going to wait until late summer and early fall, when those collections come out. Those are the ones you need to look into, because in fall is where you're going to find your earth tones. That's when you're going to find your green and your brown and your blue and your yellow and your dark red, okay? And they will not be advertised as camping, but you can use them for camping, okay? And so I hope that makes sense. So I want to talk about something else here. So in your space, don't tell yourself that you have to have a camping sticker pack or a camping die cut pack to use them for your camping layout. So what I wanted to say is, anything to do with your circle shape, you're going to do well with for outdoor and camping and fishing and hiking. Why is that? Because circle is, the circle shape is, it creates movement. And what do you do when you're outside? Nothing but movement. So, of course, the moon and the sun is a circle shape. So don't forget about that. Your punches or anything in a circle shape, you're going to be fine. And clouds, of course, okay? And then, of course, you have some florals here, but you can use your leaves and your stems, okay? You can use florals on anything, but I know some people, when they do more masculine, they don't want to get into flowers. I say just stay away from your dainty flowers. Go with your big flowers and go with leaves and stems if you don't want to do the flowers, okay? And of course, there's arrows, perfect for camping and outdoor, and so is your fishtail on your banner, okay? Those shapes, and again, these type of leaves. And then your edge punches, look at that. You can definitely use edge punches. There's your circles, there's your scallop. Anything that makes you think of outdoor, you are good to go. Okay, what else do I have? Anything that resembles water and bubbles, you're good. Okay, fence, that's outdoor. Okay. What else do I have? And then also your embossing folders, you're going to get that wood grain in, and you're going to get some of that the wood grain, but then also like birch trees. And then stems and dots, and see these chevron, perfect for outdoor. Let's see, what else do we have? I would even use movie reels for outdoor. Yes, but a lot of your geometrics, and of course, if you're outdoor by the water, you're camping by the water, anchors are perfect for that. You don't have to be at the marina for that. No, anytime where there's water, you can use that. Of course, feathers and arrows, cameras fits anything, okay? But again, it doesn't have to be labeled camping, especially your diamond shape or your triangle shape. That is perfect, because a lot of signs are in that shape when you're outside. Okay, again, the feathers, wood grain, I have a lot of that. Wood plank, okay? There's that plaid, that's perfect. And what else do we have? Okay, so now I want you to look at what you might have for like your Cricut cartridges or in your silhouette library. You're going to look for these basic designs, and what would they be? Exactly what I just said. Arrows and stems, your diamond shape, and then sometimes you're going to have to look at different cartridges or different design packs, okay? Meaning you're not going to have one just for camping. Look in outdoors, look in Western, look in your seasons, okay? Because see, there's some stems. And then here too, there are stems. And what else did I wanted to show? I think there was some other ones. I was looking at one. I think it was this one. I was looking at these and I was like, I didn't even know I had this. I mean, if you would have told me that I had a banana shape, I didn't know. But arrows, geotags, perfect. Signs, things like that. I just did not know I had some of these. I just didn't know. So look at what you already have, but don't look under that camping category. And so that's the long way around what I'm trying to say. Because you're going to have to look for motifs that are generic enough, but they all apply to outside as well. And definitely, even in some of your jungles, they'll have different words, okay? Because some things that you find in what they call a jungle, you're still going to find outside. You can still use them, okay? And then what was the other thing? Those banner shapes, definitely. Absolutely, okay? And then in your fall and Thanksgiving, you're going to find some items that will be pertained. And what were they? I had it here somewhere, okay? Oh, and then travel. Oh, yes, let me show you this. In travel, okay, and you would think, okay, well, this is travel. That's not camping, okay? But for some of us, we have to travel when we camp. But they actually had camping motifs. And then look at all these signs. I mean, even though that's travel, all of those, even that outdoor sign, signs are perfect for when you're camping, okay? But that is not, this is just under travel. This isn't under camping, okay? And then I had another one called, it was Western Happy Trails or something. A lot of motifs on there. I just didn't even know. But you can definitely use those for camping, okay? And then, of course, your dies, okay? Same thing, your feathers, your geotags, cameras, leaves, these fishtails, perfect banners. The anchor, if you can see that, the anchor is perfect, okay? So when it comes, I'm not going to keep on going, but when it comes to camping and outdoor and masculine, you kind of have to think outside the box and don't go by theme, go by motifs, okay? And you're going to have to piecemeal it because a lot of manufacturers don't come out with that. So I hope that wasn't too much talk about that. And then also to look at what manufacturers already are giving you. And so again, look what they have. They have arrows and geotags. There's your circle. That's your polka dots. There's your triangle. There's your banner. And then, of course, right there you have these labels. So again, all of those work fine. Okay, and of course your wood grain alphas, that's perfect for outdoor. Anything with wood grain, okay? And if you have wood grain stamps, if you have wood grain embossing folders, perfect for outdoor and camping. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk to Mary, and then of course Debbie and Nancy Jo both had asked, said, yeah, let's see some outdoor, and of course I wanted to pull these out and play with them. But when at the end of the day, if you find that you are scrapbooking the same thing, and in Mary's case, it was camping. And she said, I'm using the same papers and the same colors, and I'm in a slump. And so what is that you have to branch out, okay? So you have to branch out into the colors that you're using, okay? You have to branch out into the collections you're buying because it's not going to be labeled as camping. And then you're going to have to branch out with the motifs you're using. So remember those three things, okay? Look at different collections. That would be your fall and your Thanksgiving, even school. It depends on the type of school, but around that type of year when those collections are coming out, even in Christmas, okay? In Christmas, a dark red and dark greens appear. So sometimes you have to look at the B-sides of papers to make your own collections when it comes to camping and outdoor and masculine. And I would say sometimes in Christmas collections, when I look at the B-side, that's where I get a lot of my buffalo checks for my outdoor and masculine pages. And then I just buy one piece at a time. And then your colors, you're going to have to go to your earth tones, okay? But it doesn't just have to be brown and green. You can see just with this Bow Bunny, they introduced the yellow and the sky blue. Okay, your yellow wouldn't be pastel, it would be your mustard. So again, those earth tones, those darker colors. And then your motifs, which is what I just covered there a minute ago. So it's definitely something you almost have to create on your own, or when you see a collection come out with it, then you buy doubles, okay? If you're trying to build up an inventory. And that's what I did for several years because I knew this was something that was hard to come by. And so on this Bow Bunny Take a Hike, I bought 2 of these, okay? I bought 2 of every paper, and some of these I think it was this wood grain. Well, I know it was this wood grain, and this one right here. I bought 4 of each, okay? Because I know I can use this for my Arizona trip. I can use this for outdoor. I can use this for when we go fishing. This is a great piece of paper, okay? And of course, there's the B side. So sometimes don't get stuck in that trap of looking for camping. You're going to have to make your own camping collections. And you can do that with outdoor earth tones and your motifs. So, Mary, I hope that was not too much chatting. I hope that helped. And so when I come back, I'm going to be working with this free sketch. And again, the link will be below. I'm going to work with 2 or 3 photos. And you see how this sketch has stars, okay? I'm going to go through my catalog binder, what I just showed, and I'm going to show you the different motifs that I talked about, the arrows, the brackets, the triangles, anything. And then I'm going to try to show you what I used, and I will even get in some of these stickers, okay? Now, when it comes to the stickers, it doesn't have to say camping to use it, okay? You can use those geotags. You can use those arrows. You can use any of these labels. Just look at the color, okay? And so I will follow the color scheme here, but for my motifs, I won't be using stars, but I'll try to show a variety. And then one other thing. Wood veneer. I can't say enough about wood veneer. Whether it's cameras or your feathers or your geotags or words or those people, wood veneer, or even flowers, okay? And you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I will definitely use, what did Mary tell me? She has trouble using dots, stripes, and floral. So I'm up for the challenge, Mary. When I come back with this finished page, I will have used all 3 of these on this page so you can get a visual of what that looks like. And this is definitely outdoor. There's nothing feminine about this, is there? No. Oh, yeah. The buck stops here. Maybe that's what I'll call it. Okay. So I hope that was a little bit helpful, Mary, but I'm not done yet. I will come back and I'll see if I can get all 3 of those on that on this page. Okay. And what did I say? Dots, stripes, and floral. And wood veneer. Yes, we got to get out some wood veneer because that'll give you dimension, okay? And don't forget twine. Yes, twine, burlap, cork. That's all good for outdoor. Okay, and then other thing, Donna had just asked me recently, she was wanting to do a kit, but she wanted to add in some masculine supplies with that kit, and I'll have that video linked below, so go towards the end of that video and you will see the masculine element that I was talking to Donna about that you could add to any kit, because, you know, we have men in our life. You don't want to just use turquoise and pink on everything, so that will give you some more additional direction about that. Okay, so hang on. I will come back with a finished about these white-tailed deer, okay, with an outdoor feel. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back with my finished page, and I love how it turned out because every time I use a Scrapbook Generation sketch, I say to myself, boy, that went quick. And honestly, using Scrapbook Generation sketches, for me, they are quick sketches. And what you can do is absolutely just use this as a springboard, which is what I did. Or then what you can use, these sketches are, they give you exact measurements, they give you exact placement, suggestions, and even the tone of your pattern, the scale of your patterns and the tones. You can follow all of this, and the best thing is you can rotate this 4 times. Beautiful, beautiful, okay? But you can see for my layout, I did the same, my photo's the same, and I used the inspiration of these strips, but everything else, I kind of went off on my own. But definitely the springboard for this page. And again, I'm just, every time I use them, I'm like, that was quick. That was quick, because you can see this is a very simple page, but it doesn't look simple because of the use of color. So my 3 photos span across in a band, but they're in a diagonal band, and I cut them down. They're not exact the same size. I just cut away the extra foliage. And then also too, when I did this band, is that I made 1 photo lower, 1 photo higher, 1 photo lower, just to break up the monotony of everything looking perfect. And then I took this yellow piece of paper from the Bo Bunny line. It's this right here. And this was on the back. And this is called Compass. And I used that as my background, you know, my cardstock base. And then when I cut that down, you know, you always have these little strips when you're cutting papers down. So I took these 2 pieces of paper, and I do this all the time because I will not normally use these or keep these on another page, is that I just put them right on top of each other and put it right there, and you'll see it in the close-ups. And what that does is just give a little bit of footer down at the bottom, a little bit of dimension, and it just gives a grounding base for everything here. So I just like using those leftovers right away. And then of course you can see that on this yellow cardstock as my base, I used another mat. And so that is this paper right here, okay? And this one is called Trees. Now, this is a very big design. Of course, it would be perfect for story-based pages, but it's also perfect for an outside mat because all you're seeing is the very, very edge of these colors that are represented in my layout, and it just brings it all together. So if I flip this over, you would see that I definitely just gutted that. So it's basically about an 8x8 piece of paper, and when I'm doing gutting like this, I do not make this very, very thin because I need some substantial weight to hold the wood veneer and the stickers and braids and things like that. So that outside mat is not skinny. And if you make it too skinny, then it's hard to adhere, okay? So I basically just got about an 8x8 piece of paper. So you're still getting another use of paper, another use for that piece of paper. And so then I didn't mat my photos because this yellow paper, that's why I used it on purpose. It kind of serves as a mat. So that takes one step away from a layout process, as if you don't match your photos. And so Scrapbook Generations, even though in the sketch they showed it, that was one step I didn't have to do, okay? And so that worked very well. Of course, gave 2 photo corners up here. Fun. Now, for my paper strips, guess what I used? I used this Bo Bunny marketing sheet. And remember, I had said that in the previous segment that this is absolutely something you can use. You can pull out your punches. You can use them as strips because this is on a cardstock weight. I mean, it's no different than any other piece of paper in the collection. So what I did was there was these strips just like this, and so I just cut them just like that, and I used them for my page. Now you would say, well, these strips here, that's smaller than those strips, so what did you do? So when I cut this down, okay, then what I did was cut it in half, and it was about 3 inches, and so I would tuck a piece up here and tuck a piece down here, same here, and vice versa. And I even took a piece and layered it on top of one another. You see, this is overlapped, and that's overlaid. So how do you keep, how do you get those straight? You break out your T-square, okay? And that's how you line them up, because you're going to have a piece tucked under this photo and a piece tucked under this photo. Kind of hard to line it up. That's where your T-square comes in handy, okay? So that's all I did, lined them up. I cut them up and lined them up. Yes, that's exactly what I did. But that was just using that marketing piece of paper. Great way to stretch that, okay? And so then, of course, you see that I added some wood veneer and a couple stickers and a little bit of die cuts and enamel dots. And that is all my layout is. And my title is called Caught. And I put that on a sticker sheet. Or a sticker that came from the sticker sheet, and on this sticker, it went right here, it said Explore. Well, I already had that up here. I didn't want that for my title, so I just took another piece of scrap paper from that marketing sheet, covered up the word Explore, and then that's where I put my wood grain title of Caught. And it's a very small title, but it's all I need because I don't have a big story, okay? So that is the page, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about things, but this is my journaling. So where could I put my journaling? I only have 2 lines. I could tuck it underneath this wood veneer, which is exactly what I think I'm going to do. But when I do some editing, I get a bird's eye view and I kind of see where it looks better. Or I could bring it down here and I could balance it off of the bottom of that title. There's nothing wrong with that. I could even bring it up here. Or I could even bring it, oh, well, that wouldn't fit. But say if that sticker wasn't there, or I could stick it over there like that. So there's no wrong way to do that for the journaling. But I did want to say that when you're doing journaling, play around. If you do computer generated journaling, play around with your journaling. So in this case, I definitely did not use black. I used brown to print out my journaling, and I did a different treatment as far as I italicized every word. Okay, and you'll see that in the close-ups, but I italicized every word, and then also too for the date, I bolded it. So when you're doing your computer generated journaling, don't get in that slump that you do the same thing all the time. However, if you have a certain way you like to do your journaling, that's part of your style. So you don't have to change it up, okay? So there's 2 ways to do that. But I think what I'm going to do is tuck it right underneath that wood veneer. It looks like it was, just looks like it belongs there. So I like that. A couple lines, good to go. Okay, so now let's talk about these flowers for a minute, because remember what Mary said. Mary said she had trouble visualizing dots and stripes and florals on camping, okay? So this is basically the same thing. It's outdoors, and I have white-tailed deer, and I have dots and stripes and florals. So, Mary, I hope that gives you a little bit of a visual that it all works, because even in that Bo Bunny Take a Hike collection, all those things that you thought couldn't be used was incorporated in that collection, and that is absolutely done by manufacturer. But I wanted to show my wood veneer here, these florals, is that they are darker, which is good for outside, and then they also have that burnt look, you know, what we called a wood burning back in the day. Do you remember having shop class and doing wood burning? I bet you they don't allow kids to do that anymore. They probably don't even have that option anymore as far as shop class and things like that. Good old days. So what I did is I pulled 4 different florals, and I wanted to give you a visual that even just picking out something as floral in wood veneer, different treatments and different styles, you're going to have a different mood and feel. So this, of course, up here is what I picked, the wood burnt look. But if I put that flower there, see how that creates a different mood and feel. And don't forget, you can always stack wood veneer too. That's always fun. You can put embellishments on top of wood veneer. And then if I use this one has a gold foil treatment. That would be fun. But again, changes the look of the page. And then I could go with this one. It's basically what I have. It just doesn't have that dark look. Definitely all works. And then something more whimsical will change it, change the look of your page even more. So just with those different 5 flowers, that is different mood and feel on a page. And that's just wood veneer flowers. How fun is that? So don't be afraid to play around with your flowers. Different treatments. This has foil, that has wood burning. This is a darker color, more whimsical. So play around with it. You can't go wrong with any of it. It all depends on what you like. Okay. So what I did then for my embellishments, of course, just use some stickers from the sticker sheet, enamel dots. We all do that. But another thing I did was, again, I resorted to this marketing piece, and I used these little pieces for embellishments, for punches and dies. And so I had showed this in a video probably a year ago, is that when you have a small scrap of paper and you still want to use it, but you can't get it in and out of a punch or a die because it's too small. So this is something I learned from Jennifer McGuire back in the day, and she shared that you take your scrap, okay, you can see that was that marketing piece, and you attach a post-it note to it, okay? So this is the sticky part. So I'm just attaching that post-it note to that scrap, and then you hold on to the post-it note, and that's how you insert it into your punch. I mean, very, very fun. Okay, and then also too, because these are so small, you could take a piece of washi tape and then you could adhere that to your die when you're running it through your machine. I didn't really have to because I just kind of put it in my sandwich and run it through, but when you have a small scrap, use that post-it note trick. Yes, I think that was probably the best tip I ever learned from Jennifer McGuire, because you can use the smallest of scraps and still get a punch on there. Just attach a piece of post-it note to it. Very, very fun. And we all usually have that in our space anyways. Okay, so of course, I think I did say this, is that I added photo corners just in 2 of the corners up there. And of course, they were in craft. Okay, can't go wrong with craft when you're doing outdoor. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to give Mary a visual was because I wanted to show the floral. Just picking different florals and different treatments will give you a different look. But then also too, that you can definitely use dots and stripes on an outdoor camping page. And so some people may be saying, well, that all works well and good, but those are white-tailed deer. I want to see some camping photos. So what I did was I absolutely went to the internet and I printed 3 camping photos. Okay, so let's lay them down here. Okay, because I wanted to help Mary. She was sending out the distress signal. So this is what this page would look like, and it still looks beautiful. It's not white-tailed deer, but it's actually camping. Again, these photos are not mine. They're from just Google imaging. It was like the first, within the first 14 photos, I found these images, and I just printed them out. So there's people, there's the actual tents, and there's actually the woods and the campfire, things like that. So even though I used this layout for white-tailed deer and outdoors, this right here for the camping, it all still looks good. And guess what, Mary? There's your dots, there's your stripes, and there's your florals. Okay, and of course my photos, I have to cover up a little bit of that wood veneer to show the photos, but that's how it would look. And doesn't that look great? Absolutely. So there you go, Mary. I hope that gave you a little bit of visual. Debbie and Nancy Joe, I hope that helped you see some trail camera pictures and some outdoor. So there's a 2-for-1. There's the camping, and with the flip of the wrist, there's the outdoor. How fun is that? So definitely gives you a visual. It doesn't matter what outdoor photos you're using, camping, actual critters, fishing, hiking, camping, you can use those dots. You can use those stripes, and you can use those florals. Just definitely go by your darker colors. So that is all I wanted to share for the day. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration. I love doing these type of pages. It's a break from the pink and the turquoise all the time. There's nothing wrong with that either. No. So that's all I have for today. And also, this start to finish. So again, the link will be below for this free October 2014 sketch. And then also, if I can find a store that carries this Bo Bunny Take a Hike, I will definitely link it below. And then also to some other outdoor collections, not necessarily camping, but outdoor collections. And then also to some fall collections. So even though it's labeled and marketed as fall, you can use them for outdoor photos and camping and fishing and hiking. Just look at your B-sides, okay? That's the way you get out of that theme, is to look at your B-sides of your papers. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Come back to RTS because you never, ever know what we're gonna do. Bye.